Hello out there in cryptocurrency land. Welcome back to Real Crypto. Thank you for joining me today. First off, I would like to take a second to say thank you to those of you who joined me on my webinar. I had a lot of fun. It was good success, some good feedback, and some good chat with you guys. So I hope you guys take that information and save some money with it and also make some money with it. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one there. So on to Bitcoin and the general markets that we're in right now. I'm seeing a lot of chat out there that the bottom is 7,500. This is the bottom, guys, we've all been waiting for. And let's just go ahead and buy Bitcoin without any concern for our safety. Unfortunately, that does not look like general market bottoming behavior right now. This looks like another bounce that we're seeing in this cycle. As we see here from 20,000, looking at the GDAX here on the 2-hour chart. As we see off the 20,000 level, we had a very swift downtrend all the way down here to 47% lower over not a lot of time, about 5 days. And we saw a nice bounce from there to the overall high here of 64% higher. The next spike bottom was down here at 9,000, and we only rose up 44% higher. And if you notice, between this bottom and this high, we had 16 days. Between this bottom and this high, we had 4 days, only 3 to 4 days between this high. And now right here, this spike low, and this is a spike low. Don't get it twisted. This is a tradable bounce if you got in at a good point. I would not be buying this rally here right now, at least the way the chart looks right now. If we have a bit of a consolidation, so something similar to this. If you run into a consolidation, you can trade the bounce off of that, but I would be very leery of any bounces to the upside, and I would be taking profits extremely quickly. This bounce looks less healthy than this bounce. As you can see, the first leg, we talked about the general overall trend. The first leg of this bounce before it stopped was 26%. And this first bounce here was only 18%. So this first leg before we consolidated was 50%. This first leg was 27, 25%. This first leg, like we just saw, only 18 to 20%. So these first bounces are becoming less bouncy. They're becoming less bouncy. You're getting less follow through, implying more selling, implying less bottoming action. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what else I can show you if you guys, I don't know what else I can show if you still don't believe me, if you're still stuck that Bitcoin has to go up forever, guys. All I got to say is I'm trying to get this through your head. Okay? I'm not trying to be right. I'm giving you evidence that momentum is waning in Bitcoin. It's just waning. Now, at some point we're going to get a nice big bounce. Okay? Maybe this is the point that we get the big bounce, but it's not going to come off of this bottom. It's going to have to come out of some kind of pattern like this. It's going to have to come out of some kind of consolidation pattern. All right? Now, if that happens, fantastic, we come up. Personally, I think we would, if we do bounce up, we're going to fail at 11,000 or 13,000. One of these points is going to fail to the downside again. It's going to be a short-term bounce, and we're going to roll over. Very similar to the 2013 market. Very similar to that market. So I don't know what else to tell you here. So that's what it looks like for Bitcoin. We are in a bit of a tradable bounce. Some good green candles down here, but the bounce has just been very anemic. Now in Ethereum, we have a bit of a different situation. I made a video that I did not put out mentioning that Ethereum is trading in its own cycle. Ethereum is now, I believe, this year going to do the flippening. If you're not sure what the flippening is, the flippening is where the market cap between Ethereum and Bitcoin finally flip. And we're getting closer and closer to that reality. When I was making that video earlier, Ethereum's market cap was 110 billion. Bitcoin's was 193 billion. Since then, we've come down quite significantly in Bitcoin to 153, while Ethereum's barely budged. We're sitting here at 92. So I think Ethereum is going to catch some legs whenever Bitcoin actually finally settles down. Bitcoin will settle down at some point when we get that bounce in Bitcoin and a lull in Bitcoin going into kind of a sideways market. At that point, I think you're going to see Ethereum really come into its own. And I think we're going to eclipse these all-time highs in Ethereum. And when we do that, and we may even have to just get to all-time highs. So just getting to all-time highs is 50% higher. If we get 50% higher, we're basically equal with Bitcoin, and we're going to be going between the flippening and the not flippening. But either way, Ethereum is going to creep higher and higher towards Bitcoin's market cap, and Bitcoin eventually will have another really large leg down, and it will mean the flippening has occurred. Now, longer term, that's not going to stay forever, okay? Bitcoin will eventually go back into a bull cycle and will outclipse Ethereum, I think, at a fairly rapid pace. But that time is not now. That time is not soon. In the intermediate term future, you're going to see the flippening occur with Ethereum being more market cap heavy than Bitcoin. And all that means is that the cryptocurrency market has evolved to the point where we're not strictly Bitcoin driven. We're going to become fundamentally driven with actual prospects of the Ethereum network becoming viable and actually having good applications being written on it that can be used, and people can have profitable businesses based on Ethereum. We're not there yet. But we're starting to see the market diverge from Bitcoin, which is showing that maturing marketplace. So eventually that will happen. From a trading perspective in Ethereum, you have a nice double bottom here. I was asleep when this happened. I would have loved to buy this. Ethereum has shown us time and time again you want to buy these spikes ever since Bitcoin has topped. You want to buy these big spikes, and that's where you're seeing the huge volume come into Ethereum during these downside movements, because you're having big accumulation. This is big accumulation and smart money being put to work. If you think about it, if you're an institution, Bitcoin is in a bear market. Why would you invest in Bitcoin when you have Ethereum that has future prospects of becoming the new, basically, internet of the blockchain, if you will? So, but again, from a charting perspective, we're stuck kind of in a holding pattern here. We've got this pennant type of pattern playing out here in Ethereum. So some more sideways action to go. And I think this will start to run, like I said earlier, when Bitcoin stops falling and kind of goes into more of a sideways market like we did here. Keep in mind, this is the type of market where we had the big runs in Cardano and XRP and Lumens. So we had this market in Lumens when Bitcoin was in a lull. We're going to see something similar in Ethereum. And if you look at those other markets, you do have Lumens actually looking pretty good. And you also have a couple others. EOS is looking really good. Let's take a look at EOS. So EOS sitting at highs again, had a nice rollover, popping back up again. EOS is looking very strong. You have XLM looking very strong. XLM looking strong, sitting here at highs, basing in high levels, very bullish. Doesn't mean it's going to break out anytime soon, but it is good, healthy action. ADA, you got Cardano. Breaking down a little bit more, which makes sense because Cardano's network isn't actually a viable network yet. But out of these lows, look at this nice volume coming into Cardano. Very good action up here, but we are seeing some selling as of now. This coin is not ready to move. This coin is going to take a very long time to base after such a large run. So out of its ICO breakout point here, you've had a 2,500% up move. In Cardano, that's going to take a long time to wear off. That's only going to take time, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to bottom at a specific price point and then bounce up. That's only going to take time to wear off. All right, so those are kind of the market leaders from my perspective. Right now at this moment in time, those ones that are sitting at the highs that are being very bullish. But overall, I think Ethereum is a very healthy place and a very safe place to have some money. At least right now, if we break down from this level of about the 750 point, then we're in a different marketplace. Then we're kind of more in a low market. But all markets are choppy right now. No market is safe right now. This is a bad place to have money put to work unless you're very apt at short-term trading or shorting. I recommend holding cash. right now. I'm holding cash right now. I'm building out my trading courses, doing some stuff to kind of help some people. And yeah, I'm going to do some side work outside of cryptocurrencies. So that is that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Overall, we have a nice tradable bounce, but this is not the bottom in Bitcoin. At least that's not what the chart says. That's not because I'm a smart guy. I've seen markets do this before, and this is not healthy action. Again, good for maybe a bounce or two, but probably not good for longer term trading until you see it have a very nice base and then break out to the upside. Only then will we be back into some kind of a bullish market. Until then, it's a bear. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me today. Please subscribe if you like the content. Please like the video if you like the video, and I will see you next time.